What is going on, artists and our friends and fellow creative type peoples? My name is Noah Brandow. I am a storyboard artist, 2D artist, illustrator, sometimes concept artist. I've been a pixel artist at times, and I've been living and working in Los Angeles since 2016. And today we're going to go over the top 5 art scams in 2021 that you need to know about. There are a lot of art scams out there, but these are the ones that seem to be the most prevalent, the ones that people are really working, and the ones that you really need to watch out for. So, scam number 1 is the artwork purchase overpayment. Now, the way this scam works is you get contacted by somebody, usually through your email, asking to buy one of your pieces, and oftentimes they will not say which one because this is a form letter. They're sending out to a lot of people. They're going to usually use the range of $500 to $5,000. And when you bite, when you send them a reply, they'll ask for your address so they can send you a check. If you say, I have a piece I can sell you for $5,000, they're going to send you a check to your house, usually through FedEx overnight mail. And it's going to be for at least $1,000, maybe $2,000 more than you guys agreed upon. Now, that extra they're going to say is for the shipping costs. They want you to pay through their shipping person, and they'll usually say it'll cost $1,000 to $2,000. Now, that's the scam right there. There's a loophole in the banking system that makes it so it only takes 3 days to clear a check, but oftentimes they haven't secured the fact that it's a real bank account and that there are really funds in that account at that time. They're just giving it to you on good faith. And then later, when it comes up that it is a fake check, you'll be on the hook for all the money, all the difference. It could turn your bank account inside out. So don't accept the check. Make them pay through a pay service, and it'll run these people out. Now, let's take a look at another example of an email I got with the same scam. And there's some red flags right away. You can see that they've misspelled artwork. They're trying to, give me a bunch of compliments. They've said that there's a very tight time schedule. They're also going to usually be some sort of anniversary involved, a birthday, something where it's secret and they don't want their partner or some significant other to know about it. And oftentimes maybe they can't get access to their normal credit cards because they're on a cruise somewhere. Now you know what to look out for. Whatever you do, for the love of God, don't deposit that check. All right, now scam number 2 is work for exposure. Now, this scam is huge with promoters or people who are trying to get a live event or some sort of big thing happening. And you're often going to hear from these people who are looking for young artists that you're going to be seen around the world. Your stuff, everybody's going to see it. They're going to stand up and take notice. You're going to get applause of millions. And there's probably going to be some name dropping involved. People, big names that are going to be attached to this event. And they're going to see your work too. And you might even get to meet them. That's sometimes part of it. Now, if that is great for you and you're looking to just build your portfolio and it's an event that works for you, then this isn't necessarily a scam. But if you buy into the hype and you think this is going to change your life, you're letting them scam you. Just know what you're getting into and getting involved with before you start working for free. Now, scam number 3 is profit share or back-end points. Now, you might be looking for jobs and you see some jobs that are not offering salaries or not offering anything up front. And they're saying, hey, we're going to pay you on the back. Once we get funded, you'll have a big piece of this pie. Now, sharing is a good thing. Sharing between friends, sharing with your family, sharing with loved ones. That's great. Sharing some pancakes on the floor. That's wonderful. But when it comes to business, that gets complicated. Even if you have contracts, I find it can be very difficult to get your what you're owed in that context. Now, maybe you're working with a bunch of people, everyone's hungry, and they've got what sounds like a great idea, and you're sitting there trying to figure it out. Like, is this a good thing for me? It sounds like a great thing. You have a part on this team, and you're getting ready to sign the documents, and this is the part where you really got to think. If you're going to be working what essentially is a full-time job, but with no pay until some later date that could or could not come, is this possible? We've all got bills to pay. We've all got, just sitting and breathing in a day costs money. And especially some of the more expensive cities, you got to figure out what your daily burn rate is. And if they're not paying anything, can you sustain that month after month, week after week, maybe even year after year? It gets very, very complicated. And the hard part is sometimes these teams are overseas. And if you don't have a lawyer to bring these people to court to get your money, it's going to be very difficult to collect what's yours. So scam number 4 is the fake job offer. So sometimes you'll get contacted. I was contacted by a recruiter claiming to be from Scopely Games, a guy calling himself Philip. He said, you have to meet all of these qualifications, normal for a job. But if you don't have those qualifications, we can also teach you if you don't have that experience. But then further down in the same letter, it said you do need 1 to 2 years of experience in the gaming industry, even though they said that you don't. And that they're using a Gmail address. And then at the bottom, he signed off as Randy Carlos, even though at the beginning he said his name was Philip. Strange. Bunch of red flags there. But I took the interview anyways. You're going to see that they're going to ask me to purchase all the software, even though they assume that I know the software. Most times you would have it already, but they want me to purchase the software through their vendor, through them. Another red flag is they're using that Gmail account. I asked them to use a Scopely email. They didn't. And you can see that here he doubled down on the sense of urgency by trying to get me to deposit it quickly and get everything going right away, which is another red flag. At this point, I realized I needed to confirm that this person worked for Scopely, so I directly emailed them, told them the whole situation, and I heard back from a nice lady named Brittany. She said, do not accept any money from them, and they don't work for us, and this is a scam. So, much like I thought it was. Watch out, red flags. Scam number 5, our final scam, is going to be unpaid internships. A lot of unpaid internships are great, actually. If you're going to be learning a lot about your chosen profession or the discipline that you're studying in school, and you take an unpaid internship, you're going to be going through what it's like to work in that profession on a daily basis. And if you've got good people training you in, you're going to learn a lot, and you're going to see what it's really like beyond just the classroom, but in the day-to-day practice. And that can be really invaluable. So let me qualify this by saying not all unpaid internships are scams. But there are other kinds of internships, ones that are unpaid and where they're not really that concerned with teaching you anything. A lot of times companies can look at unpaid internships as free labor and will refer to it, amongst themselves in exactly that way. Like, we need to get this work done. We don't have a big budget, so let's get some unpaid interns in here to knock it out and finish it. And a lot of times that's the kind of work that a lot of people don't want to do or don't have time to do in the office, and they don't want to pay a temp or train somebody to do it. So you'll be doing the work that nobody else wants to do that may not actually have that much to do with what your job title will be or what you're studying in school. It could just be the minutia, the day-to-day, the grind, the stuff that nobody else really wants to do in the office, the time-consuming grunt work. And if that's the case, you're not really going to be getting value for your time. These companies have plenty of cash. They're not hurting. Most production houses are raking it in. Most studios got money for days. And they just don't want to pay the people what they're worth. Even an intern, you have worth. Don't let anybody tell you that your time and that your focus and your hard work isn't worth anything. All right? I mean, just think of everything that it took for you to get to this point where you were able to take on that position. That takes a lot of hard work and dedication. That has worth. Think about just what it costs you to live daily. Just the expenses, everything that it takes you to get to the job, back to the job, and just live. That's expensive. That has worth. All of those things should come into consideration when you're taking on a position or thinking about taking on a position as an intern. There's going to be a lot of people. You're going to make some amazing connections, and it's going to, at least for the first part, feel amazing, but it can go wrong. It can blow up in your face. I've seen instances where people were being used for their free labor, didn't really realize it, kind of got caught up in the moment, got caught up in the position, the excitement of the whole thing. And they let that excitement blind them to the fact until about maybe halfway through their internship, where they may have gone to their superior and mentioned that they would like to do more hands-on work that pertains to the subject that they were learning in school, the reason that they got the internship in the first place. And even if they handled themselves completely professionally and were completely cordial about the thing, a lot of times their superiors don't like that because they know that you're being used and that it's a bit of a scam. And companies do this quite often, or at least from what I understand from people that I know in the industry, from talking to people, this is the sense that I've gained, is that there is a likelihood that if you're getting an internship, it might not always be what you had imagined. It might not give you as much educational experience, on the job experience that you were hoping for. And all of these scams really revolve around people's willingness to take things on faith, to not do their research, to not look up companies, to not double check all the details that you need to. And really, these are the instances where knowledge becomes power. Don't let any potential customer or collaborator pressure you or try to make a situation happen very quickly. These kind of decisions should not be made hastily. You should do your research. And I'm by no means an expert. I've just dealt with a fair amount of these scammers. I've got a bunch of friends who are artists who's also dealt with these kind of situations with scammers. And it can be difficult to navigate. Not everybody is going to spend a few days Googling and going through Reddit and seeing what other people's experiences are with similar situations. Because you better believe if you're going through it, you're probably not the first person in the world to have to deal with this. There are a lot of people out there, and these scammers are about numbers. It's a volume business. They're trying to move as many of these emails and fake checks and whatever it is as quickly as possible. So you're just a number to them. And if you're one of the people who understands how this works, you won't get caught up. You will understand what's happening, and you'll know how to move and how to navigate. And you may be saying this seems like a lot of negative information, but really, it's good to know there are sharks in the water. It's really good to know there are predators out there that are prowling, that are hunting, because then you can understand them. Then you can know how their behavior works and why they do the things they do, so you don't get caught up, so you don't go into their hunting grounds, so you don't give them what they want, which is your money, your time. And just remember the red flags of a scam. This will help you identify these guys at a mile out. So high pressure, short on time, bad spelling, punctuation, and odd language. That's another red flag. Praise and compliments, lots of praise, lots of compliments. Often too good to be true is a red flag. Big promises, pie in the sky, and then paying with a check for over the amount you've agreed upon. These are all some very common red flags for any scam, well, for most scams that you're going to see out here. So keep your eye open for those things, and also just trust your gut. Trust your instincts. If something's wrong, oftentimes we know it ahead of time. We just don't want to believe it. But it's part of your job as an artist, I believe, if you want to be a professional, to arm yourself with the knowledge to protect yourself. And that's what I'm here to help you with. All right, so for everybody who wanted to know where I screwed up, where was my mistake? Where did I get scammed? How did I get got? It was, all right. I got scammed. I took the profit share back end points deal. The deal, in quotations. Yeah, I believed I was working with a video game team, and I got. Oh my goodness, this has been so much fun, showing you the top 5 art scams in 2021 that you need to know about. I've had way too much fun making this video. It's gonna be many more in the future, so thank you for sticking around to the end. You guys are the best. I couldn't do it without you. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, mash that button, do all those things, crazy things that people do. And I'm gonna see you next time on Noah's Art. Please make some art today. Make art every day.